You are not your own person. You think you are, but you are not. Your emotions are controlled by what other people think of you. Your decisions are controlled by what other people expect from you. Your sense of worth is controlled by how other people validate you. You are a puppet and everyone else is pulling your strings. You feel it every time you check your phone for likes. You feel it every time you change your opinion to fit in. You feel it every time you make a choice based on what will make others happy instead of what will make you whole. This audiobook is about cutting those strings. It is about becoming sovereign, self-contained, unshakable, governed from within, not cold, not detached, untouchable, the sovereign mind. Introduction: The puppet and the sovereign. There are two types of people in this world, puppets and sovereigns. Most people are puppets. They do not realize it. They think they are making their own choices. They think they are living their own lives, but they are not. They are being pulled by invisible strings. Strings attached to other people's opinions. Strings attached to cultural expectations. Strings attached to the need for validation. Strings attached to the fear of judgment. The puppet feels every tug on those strings. Their mood changes when someone criticizes them. Their decisions change when someone disapproves. Their entire sense of self-worth fluctuates based on how they are perceived by others. They are externally governed. Their internal state is controlled by external events. They are never stable. They are never still. They are never at peace. Because peace is impossible when your strings are being pulled by 1,000 hands. The sovereign is different. The sovereign has cut the strings, not all at once, not perfectly, but cut them. The sovereign is self-contained, governed from within. Their emotions are not controlled by other people's opinions. Their decisions are not controlled by other people's expectations. Their sense of self is not controlled by other people's validation. They are internally governed. The sovereign is not cold. The sovereign is not detached. The sovereign is not emotionless. The sovereign feels everything. But they feel it from a place of internal stability. They experience emotions without being controlled by emotions. They experience other people's opinions without being defined by them. They experience chaos without being shaken by it. This is the difference between the puppet and the sovereign. It is not a difference of personality. It is not a difference of talent. It is a difference of governance. Who is in control? The external world or the internal self? This audiobook is about cutting your strings. It is about becoming sovereign. It is about installing a mind that is unshakable no matter what storms rage around it. It is about becoming self-contained in a world that is designed to make you dependent. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is a protocol, a daily practice, a complete system for internal governance. Let us begin. Chapter 1: The Validation Trap. The first string that must be cut is the validation string. This is the string that makes your mood dependent on other people's approval. It is the string that makes you check your phone 100 times a day. It is the string that makes you change your behavior to be liked. It is the string that makes you afraid to be yourself. The validation trap works like this. You do something, you post something, you say something, you create something, and then you wait. You wait for the response, you wait for the likes, you wait for the comments, you wait for the approval, and while you wait you are anxious. You are dependent, you are not free. If the validation comes, you feel good for a moment, but it is fleeting because you need more. You need the next hit, the next like, the next compliment. You are addicted, and like all addictions, it controls you. If the validation does not come, you feel terrible, you question yourself, you doubt yourself, you feel invisible, you feel worthless. You are a puppet and the audience is not clapping. The sovereign mind does not play this game. The sovereign mind creates for the sake of creating. It posts for the sake of expressing. It speaks for the sake of truth. It does not wait for the response. It does not need the approval. It is internally validated. Internal validation is not something you are born with. It is something you build. You build it by creating a standard for yourself that is higher than any external standard. You build it by making promises to yourself and keeping them. You build it by knowing who you are and what you stand for regardless of who is watching. The protocol for cutting the validation string is simple but brutal. You go on a validation fast. For 30 days you do not seek validation. You do not check your phone for likes. You do not ask for opinions. You do not fish for compliments. You create, you act, you speak, and you do not look for the response. At first this will feel like withdrawal. You will feel anxious. You will feel invisible. You will feel like you are screaming into a void. This is normal. This is the addiction leaving your system. Stay with it. After the 30 days you will discover something. You are still here. You are still creating. You are still you. And you do not need the applause to survive. In fact, you feel lighter. You feel freer. You feel more like yourself than you have in years. The validation string has been cut. You are no longer a puppet of approval. You are sovereign. Chapter 2. The Internal Authority. The second string that must be cut is the authority string. This is the string that makes you look outside yourself for permission, for direction, for the right answer. You ask everyone what you should do. You read every book looking for the formula. You wait for someone to tell you it is okay to move forward. The puppet believes authority lives outside them, in experts, in gurus, in systems, in traditions. The puppet believes they do not know enough. They are not wise enough. They are not ready to lead themselves. The sovereign knows that authority lives within, not in the ego, not in the arrogant voice that says, "I know everything," in the quiet, steady voice that says, "I know enough to take the next step, and I will figure out the rest as I go." Internal authority is built through making decisions and owning the outcomes. It is built through taking action without waiting for certainty. It is built through trusting your own judgment even when it is wrong, especially when it is wrong. Because wrong decisions teach you to make better decisions. They build your authority. The protocol for cutting the authority string is the decision diet. For 30 days you make every decision without asking for advice. You do not poll your friends. You do not read articles about what to do. You decide, you act, you accept the outcome. Small decisions first. What to eat, what to wear, what to work on first. Then bigger decisions, how to handle a conflict, whether to take an opportunity, which path to choose. You will make bad decisions. That is the point. You must learn that you can survive bad decisions. You can learn from them. You can adjust. You can still trust yourself even when you are wrong. After 30 days, you will feel something you have never felt before. Sovereignty. The ability to stand on your own 2 feet, to lead yourself, to be the author of your own life. The authority string has been cut. You are no longer a puppet of external expertise. You are sovereign. Chapter 3. The Reaction Protocol. The third string is the reaction string. This is the string that makes you react to everything. Someone criticizes you and you react with defensiveness. Someone disagrees with you and you react with anger. Something goes wrong and you react with panic. The world pulls your string and you dance. The puppet is reactive. The sovereign is responsive. There is a world of difference. Reacting is automatic. It is unconscious. It is driven by emotion. Responding is deliberate. It is conscious. It is driven by choice. The reaction protocol is a simple practice that creates space between stimulus and response. It is how you cut the reaction string. When something happens that triggers you, you pause. You do not react immediately. You take one breath, just one. In that breath, you ask yourself 3 questions. What am I feeling right now? Name the emotion, not the story. The emotion: I am feeling angry. I am feeling scared. I am feeling defensive. What do I want to create in this moment? Not what do I want to win. Not what do I want to prove. What do I want to create? Do I want to create connection? Do I want to create understanding? Do I want to create resolution? What would the sovereign version of me do right now? Not the reactive version, the sovereign version, the version that is self-contained, the version that is internally governed. What would that person do? Then you do that thing. You respond instead of reacting. You create instead of destroy. You lead instead of follow. This protocol is simple. It is not easy. It requires you to feel the trigger and not pull the trigger. It requires you to sit with discomfort. It requires you to choose creation over ego. Practice this protocol for 30 days. You will be shocked at how your relationships transform, how your stress decreases, how your sense of power increases. The reaction string has been cut. You are no longer a puppet of external events. You are sovereign. Chapter 4. The Decision Filter. The fourth string is the decision filter string. This is the string that makes you make decisions based on what will make others happy, what will get approval, what will avoid conflict, what will fit in. The puppet makes decisions through an external filter. How will this look to others? What will they think? Will they approve? The sovereign makes decisions through an internal filter. Does this align with who I am? Does this move me toward my goals? Does this feel right to me? The internal filter is not about selfishness. It is about self-governance. You cannot serve others effectively if you are not true to yourself. You cannot lead if you are following the crowd. You cannot build if you are building what others want you to build. The protocol for installing the internal decision filter is the alignment test. Before every significant decision, you ask 3 questions. Does this align with my values? Not the values I think I should have, the values I actually have, the ones I have defined for myself, the ones that are non-negotiable. Does this move me toward my vision? Not the vision others have for me, the vision I have for myself, the life I am building, the person I am becoming. Does this feel like a yes in my body? Not in my head, in my body. The sovereign mind does not just think decisions, it feels them. The body knows before the mind. It feels alignment as expansion. It feels misalignment as contraction. If the answer to all 3 is yes, you do it. Even if it is scary, even if it is unpopular, even if it is difficult. If the answer is no, you do not do it. Even if it is easy, even if it is popular, even if it is safe. This filter transforms your decision-making. It makes you consistent. It makes you trustworthy. It makes you powerful. Because you are no longer being pulled in 1,000 directions. You are moving in one direction, your direction. The decision filter string has been cut. You are no longer a puppet of external expectations. You are sovereign. Chapter 5. The Emotional Independence. The 5th string is the emotional dependence string. This is the string that makes your emotional state dependent on other people. You feel good when they approve. You feel bad when they criticize. You feel anxious when they are distant. You feel angry when they disappoint. You are not emotionally self-contained. You are emotionally enmeshed. The sovereign mind is emotionally independent, not detached, not cold. Independent, you feel your emotions, you process them, you own them, but you do not let other people control them. You do not give them the keys to your inner state. Emotional independence is built through 2 practices. The first is self-sourcing. You generate your own emotional state. You do not wait for someone else to make you happy. You make yourself happy through your own actions, your own values, your own purpose. You do not wait for someone else to validate you. You validate yourself through keeping your own promises. The second practice is boundary holding. You do not absorb other people's emotions. When someone is angry, you do not become angry. When someone is anxious, you do not become anxious. You hold your own emotional state steady. You can be compassionate without being enmeshed. You can be present without being pulled in. The protocol for emotional independence is the emotional reset. Whenever you notice your emotional state being pulled by someone else, you pause. You take 3 deep breaths. You remind yourself of your own emotional sovereignty. You say, I am the source of my own state. You return to your own center. This practice is hard at first. You will feel selfish. You will feel cold. You will feel like you are abandoning people. You are not. You are learning to be present without being lost. You are learning to love without merging. You are learning to be you without needing them to be okay for you to be okay. The emotional dependent string has been cut. You are no longer a puppet of other people's emotions. You are sovereign. Chapter 6. The Identity of Sovereignty. All of these practices converge on one outcome: the identity of sovereignty. You become someone who is self-contained, internally governed, unshakable. This identity is not declared. It is built. It is built through evidence. Every time you cut a string, you provide evidence. Every time you choose internal authority over external approval, you provide evidence. Every time you respond instead of react, you provide evidence. Every time you make a decision through your internal filter, you provide evidence. Every time you hold emotional independence, you provide evidence. The identity of sovereignty becomes self-reinforcing. The more evidence you create, the more you see yourself as sovereign. The more you see yourself as sovereign, the more you act in sovereign ways. The more you act in sovereign ways, the more evidence you create. This is the upward spiral. This is how you become unshakable. The identity also changes how the world relates to you. When you are a puppet, people treat you like a puppet. They pull your strings. They manipulate you. They control you. When you are sovereign, people treat you like a sovereign. They respect your boundaries. They value your presence. They listen when you speak. They follow when you lead. You do not need to announce your sovereignty. You do not need to tell people you have cut your strings. They will feel it. They will see it in your eyes. They will hear it in your voice. They will sense it in your presence. Sovereignty is not performed. It is emanated. The identity of sovereignty is the final string cut. You are no longer a puppet of anything external. You are self-contained. You are internally governed. You are free. Chapter 7. The Unshakable Core. At the center of the sovereign mind is an unshakable core, a place of absolute stillness and stability that cannot be disturbed by external chaos. This core is not built. It is discovered. It has always been there beneath the noise of the puppet strings. The unshakable core is the observer, the part of you that watches everything without being moved by anything. It is the part of you that is aware of your thoughts but is not your thoughts. It is aware of your emotions but is not your emotions. It is aware of your experiences but is not your experiences. Accessing this core is the practice of sovereignty. It is what makes you truly unshakable, not because you are strong enough to resist chaos, but because you are stable enough to witness chaos without being consumed by it. The practice is simple. Every day you sit in silence for 10 minutes. You close your eyes, you watch your breath, you watch your thoughts, you watch your emotions. You do not engage, you do not judge, you just watch. You return to the watcher, the observer, the core. Over time, this practice deepens. The core becomes more accessible. You can access it in the middle of a crisis. You can access it during a difficult conversation. You can access it when everything is falling apart. You drop into the core and you are still. You are calm. You are sovereign. The unshakable core is not a metaphor. It is a physiological state. It is a nervous system that is regulated. It is a brain that is not hijacked by reactivity. It is a body that is not flooded with stress hormones. It is a real state that you can live from. When you live from the core, you are unshakable. Not because bad things do not happen. They do. But because they cannot reach the core. They cannot shake the foundation. They cannot disturb the stillness. Closing the sovereign life. You have the protocol. You have the practices. You have the map. You know how to cut the validation string, the authority string, the reaction string, the decision filter string, and the emotional dependence string. You know how to build the identity of sovereignty and access the unshakable core. Now you must live it, not perfectly, not all at once, one string at a time, one practice at a time, one day at a time. Start today, cut one string, just one. Maybe it is the validation string. Go on a validation fast for one day. See how it feels. See what you discover about yourself. then cut another string tomorrow, then another. The sovereign life is not a destination. It is a practice. It is a moment-to-moment choice to be self-contained instead of externally governed. It is a moment-to-moment choice to be responsive instead of reactive. It is a moment-to-moment choice to lead yourself instead of following the crowd. The puppet life is easy. It is automatic. It is what most people live. The sovereign life is hard. It is deliberate. It is what few people live. But it is the only life that is truly yours. You are not a puppet. You are a sovereign. The strings have been cut. You are free. Now go live like it.